KC Woodworks for you. Another new camera position in a very awkward spot. Now, back to the pallet wood project. Now I've got everything sanded where I need it. These need to be cut to 36.5 inches. That will give me just under 3 feet for the total size of the box when it's done. I'm just going to rip them, going to cross cut them on my table saw using my miter gauge and a disposable, usable fence. So I'm going to get cutting and then we'll go to the next step. Woodworks for you. We're back with our pallet project. Now we're doing the glue up for the panels. I've already done 2 of them, and now we'll kind of bring you in on it. So the idea is to have a box at the end that looks really old and worn out, more like a shipping crate that's been around for a long time. After all the sanding and prep work we did, which was a lot, we are now moving on to attaching the panels, or assembling each panel separately. So what I have here is a 2-foot section of the runners that would run the length of the pallet, and all these slats would go across. Similar to just how it's set up here, basically. But so what we're gonna do is take some glue, apply glue to the back side here, because these boards are all twisted and warped. It's really, as much support as we can get, the better. Always like that. Even if it was good lumber and it was nice and straight and true, always glue and screw it all. So now we're just going to kind of hang everything up over the edge of the table saw here so we can get a couple clamps on it just to hold everything in for gluing, and then clamping, and then screwing, putting some screws in. So let's get started. Well, don't ever be afraid to use too much glue, because there really isn't such a thing. Well, I suppose there is, but use your judgment. Whatever looks good, as long as it's not dripping all around the shop, probably a decent amount. We'll just lay that down here. Lay it in the rough spot. Line up our tops and our bottoms with the edges. And now, even though this is supposed to be a rustic looking thing, and it doesn't have to be perfect, it never hurts to have a square, just to, make sure you're close, and it'll make it that much easier when we go to put the panels together. So just make your small adjustments so that it's half-ass square, and then we'll throw some clamps on it to hold it while we put some screws in it. That's probably good enough. Doesn't have to be dead on, just close. It is a pallet project. It is supposed to look rustic and not perfect. So close, even 1/8 of an inch, which wouldn't be good for most projects. It's just fine for this. Now we grab some clamps. We need some clamps, which I need more of, and I believe I've already told you that. If I repeat myself, don't be afraid to tell me to shush. Now, because these are all cupped and twisted and warped on themselves, it's a good idea to clamp each board. Just try to make sure you leave room for running your screws. It looks, yeah, like a small adjustment. That looks pretty close. I'll throw one more in the middle, and then we'll get some of the smaller clamps just to hold these other boards in place while we screw them in. Now, this is an important idea before I started the other panels. I laid them all out, all these slats out, and decided which ones I liked to go where, which ones kind of matched, which ones didn't. It all depends on what kind of look you are going for, but whatever looks good to you, use your judgment. You're the one building it, and even if you're building it for someone else, use your eye, or even ask them. Never hurts to ask. That doesn't look too bad. One more here, just hold on while we run some screws in. Alright. Close up the glue so she doesn't dry out. Got a mess. For some reason, just run it out the sign at the top of the bottle. Now all I got here is just some inch and a quarter, I believe, gray, well, tan deck screws. And we're just gonna run 2 in each slot. Trick is, you don't want to go through the other side, so don't be afraid to, put your finger under there after you've stopped running it, and just see if it's poked through or not. And if not, leave it until after your glue is dried. That way, it'll still apply pressure to the glue, so it can cure properly and get a good bond. Then after your glue's dry, you can back it up just a little bit so that it's not sticking out the other side. Apparently I can't hold a screw up. Or run it in. You can usually see when the board catches the screw because it'll suck itself up a bit. Now I'll go through this and we will continue with assembling all of these pieces. You just repeat the process. Put your glue on, put your runner on, clamp it down each board so everything's tied where you want it. It's not going to move. Run your screws through, go to the next runner and next side of the pallet, or crate side panel. So yeah, that just about does it for this portion, and when we come back, we'll put all of these together, all 4 sides. I'm kind of out on a tipping point because this is for a dance project, or a box for someone to dance through. I'm considering just using plywood for the bottom side. That way we're ensured no one's gonna get hurt trying to, crawl through it or whatever they're going to be doing with it. So I'm kind of teetering back and forth of what exactly I'm going to do, but we'll tackle that when the time comes. So until then, see you next time. Stay safe. Wear your safety gear when running your electric tools, power tools. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel, like this video, and any others that you check out, because there are some good ones on here. Also, don't forget to check out our Facebook page and our Twitter, Pinterest, all by searching KC Woodworks or Kennedy Customs. I'm Derek Kennedy. Thank you for watching this video and the others, and hopefully future videos. Don't forget to subscribe!